Shalom, everyone. Shalom. This is Brother Nate coming to you today with another lesson entitled, What Are You Meditating On? So, let's grab our utensils that we're going to use for taking notes, and we're going to dive right into what are you meditating on? Let me pull these Bibles up. So, meditation, or to meditate, what is it? Let's take a quick look here. Let's go to meditate. So, meditate. Here we go. So it says meditate, salah, or consider. So to meditate is to consider something. Let's see what else we're dealing with. To meditate is to muse, to ponder, to consider again. So ponder, muse, consider. Also, past tense, meditated, considereth, or pondereth. Kind of dealing with the same thing, just past tense. You also have premeditate. It's right here. So premeditate. So it's a deliberation, a forethought. Okay. What else? It's a plan, deliberation, or to contemplate. Also, let's look at another word, to recount. So recount it. So something that's recited or described is the same thing as rolling with something that you meditated on. You recounted this. So like remembrance. Let's see that. So remember, to repent, to remind, to meditate, to bethink, to revive a thought or revive some instructions. Okay, so now that we have a foundation of what meditation and meditate is, let's look at what we should not be meditating on and what our nature has shown us what we have meditated on. So let's look at that. Let's go over here to Genesis chapter 6. Genesis chapter 6, verse 5. And it says, it's recorded. God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. So the thoughts, so the meditation of our hearts was only evil continually. Hmm, interesting. Let's double down on that. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9. We're going to pick it up at verse 14. I'm going to read down to 16a right here. It says, "For the thoughts of mortal men are miserable, and our devices are but uncertain. For the corruptible body presseth down the soul, and the earthly tabernacle weighed down the mind, that museth upon many things, and hardly do we guess aright at things that are upon the earth." So our natural mindset was evil, because that's what the thoughts of mortal men are miserable, and our devices are uncertain. It is showing us that this corruptible body presses down the soul. Yeah, the earthly tabernacle weighed down the mind. So our natural meditation was only this evil. We had to get this instruction from the Most High, this word. We had to get the mind of God to change this. Because let's go over here to Sirach. I want to share something with you. So Sirach to some Ecclesiasticus, gonna pick it up at um, chapter 30, verse 21. It says, "Give not over thy mind to heaviness, and afflict not thyself in thine own counsel." Because the counsel that we are to give our mind to is the counsel that comes from the Spirit of God, our God. That's the counsel, not our own imaginations, not our wildest dreams and fantasies and all of that about cars and clothes and uh, these houses or women or men or anything our soul lust after. Let me share this with you. Let's go right here to Proverbs. Let's go to Proverbs. We're going to pick it up at chapter 21, verse 27. And it's recorded, "The sacrifice, the established covenant of the wicked is abomination." So, how much more when he bringeth it with a wicked mind? So, we establishing these covenants for money, cars, clothes, our wildest dreams. In one of my past teachings, Be Content, I showed you where Steve Harvey was talking about this vision board. He said Put your wildest dreams. Think about all that. Write it down. It says write down your vision. You try to throw a little flip in there to take you away from what thus said the Lord. He said you wanted you to write down your vision, your dreams. Meditate on that every day, all day. That's taking you away from the Most High. Let's look at it. That's Deuteronomy 13. We're going to pick it up at verse 1. We're going to read down to verse 5. It says, if there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and giveth thee a sign or a wonder, and the sign or wonder come to pass, wherefore he spake unto thee, saying, let us go after other gods, mammon, money, fame, fortune, says, which thou hast not known, and let us serve them. Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams. For the Lord, the Spirit of God, your guide, proveth you to know whether you love, you promise the Spirit of God, your God, with all your heart and with all your soul. You shall walk after the Spirit of God, your God, in fear, desiring Him, and keep His commandments, and obey His voice, and you shall serve Him and cleave unto Him. That's what's going on. Excuse me. So, this meditation that we should be meditating on is the oracles of the Most High, His instructions, all the things on this earth that He created in nature, trees, grass, the ant, the lion, the elephant, the sun, the moon, the stars, the clouds. We should be meditating on these things because these things were created for us to meditate on, not money, cars, clothes, etc. See right here. Let's go back to Sirach, to some Ecclesiasticus. We're going to pick it up at chapter 5. It says, set not thy heart upon thy goods, and say not, I have enough for my life. Follow not thine own mind and thy strength to walk in the ways of thy heart. These mortal thoughts, our own devices. Follow not after that. Because right here, let's look at this. Let's look at one of our people, one of us, that's following after their own heart. Let's look at Judith chapter 12. We're going to pick it up at verse 14. It says, then said Judith unto him, hold on, I'm sorry, chapter 12, verse 6. I apologize. Chapter 12, verse 6. Let's see. Give me 1 second. 1 second, please. Okay, my notes was messed up. It's Judith chapter 12, verse 16. It says, now when Judith came in and sat down, Holofernes, his heart was ravished with her, and his mind was moved, and he desired greatly her company. So he didn't got took. He was on site when he seen him. It says, for he waited a time to deceive her. And from the day that he had seen her. So it was on sight. He was beguiled. He was so they were saying he was bewitched. But right here it says the word is he was ravished with her. That's the word. He was ravished. Matter of fact, let's look it up in our spiritual dictionary. Ravished. Right here. It says ruin, hinder. Mm. Let's see another good one. He was devastated. So he was devastated by Judith. It hindered him. Her beauty hindered him. How did it hinder him? Right here. He said, for he waited a time to deceive her. That ain't how you go after a woman, to deceive. That's not how you come to a woman, to deceive it. He was premeditating going when he was going to deceive this Judith. He said, I gotta have that. He was meditating on how he was gonna do it. He said he gonna deceive her. That's the type of stuff we be on. I know men be on it. I know they be on it. So, oh man, I got this game. I got game. I'm gonna run this game on them. I'm gonna give. I'm gonna tell her this. Oh, I love you and all the stuff that they think you want to hear to get you. He waited to deceive. Premeditated right there. It says from the day that he had seen her, he was trying to work it out because he was ravished. He was devastated. Matter of fact, let's go to chapter 16. We're gonna pick it up at verse 9. Watch this. It says, her sandals ravished his eyes, his understanding. Her beauty took his mind prisoner. And the falchion passed through his neck. Told you, he was devastated. He was corrupted by the beauty of Judith. He was corrupted by the beauty. He was spoiled. Right here. Spoiled. Her beauty slayed any righteous thought he had. It was gone. It said, her beauty took his mind prisoner. We, I know men do it. Women, I don't know much about that. I don't know how y'all do certain things, but I do know this, that women, they'll get themselves so caught all together, putting this makeup, the wigs, uh, putting these extensions, or doing stuff to make their body look more curvy and uh what's that word? Like voluptuous, to attract that men to look a certain way, to take a man's mind. Oh, look at her. You see her? See that one over there? That's how men looking at it. And women do it all the time. They do that. I know they do that. Not all women, but you got women that do that today. Whether it be the BBLs and the facelifts and the um all the little augmentations done to the body to make them look a certain way. Check this out. You know, stay in Sirach. Let me pull this down. So Sirach, Ecclesiastes, chapter 25, verse 21. It says, stumble not at the beauty of a woman, and desire her not for pleasure. Say, don't stumble at that. Let's pick up some more. Proverbs chapter 6. We're going to pick it up at verse 25. It says, lust not after her beauty in thine heart, neither let her take thee with her eyelids. We double down on that. Said, stumble not at the beauty of a woman, desire not her pleasure, lust not after her beauty in thine heart, in your mind. Because right here it say, her beauty took his mind. All these things, as soon as he seen it, it was on sight. Oh, I gotta figure out how to get that. I gotta figure that out. By a hook or crook, he said he gotta get it. That's not what we're supposed to be meditating on. That's not the counsel. We shouldn't be going to seek counsel from other men or other women. Oh, how can I do this? Or how can I do that? The same thing, Steve Harvey wrote that book, Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man. Same thing. It's not the counsel that we should be looking at. Counsel should be coming from and Jehovah. I got it. Let's go over here to Sirach. Gonna pick it up at chapter 23, 1 through 6. O Lord, Father and governor of all my whole life. Lead me not to their counsels, and let me not fall by them. Who will set scourges over my thoughts and the discipline of wisdom over mine heart, that they spare me not for mine ignorances, and it pass not by my sins. Says, lest mine ignorances increase and my sins abound to my destruction, and I fall before mine adversaries, and mine enemy rejoice over me, whose hope is far from thy mercy. O Lord, Father and God of my life, give me not a proud look, to consider that's proud. Don't let me be considered like this. Your mind will get took. Says, but turn away from thy servants always a haughty mind. That proud look. See? Turn away from me vain hopes and concupiscence. There it is. And thou shalt hold him up that is desirous always to serve thee, not our own mind. It says, let not the greediness of the belly, nor lust of the flesh take hold of me, and give not over me thy servant unto an impudent mind. Let's get some more information. First Chronicles. Seek this counsel. First Chronicles 28, verse 9. It says, and thou, Solomon, my beloved, my son, my servant, know thou the God of thy father, and serve him with a perfect heart, perfect mind, and with a willing mind. For the Lord searcheth all hearts and understandeth all the imaginations of the thoughts. If thou seek him, he will be found of thee. But if thou forsake him, he will cast thee off forever. Let's get some more information. Second Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 2 through 4 says, God be gracious unto you, and remember his covenant that he made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, his faithful servants, and give you all a heart, a mind to serve him, and to do his will with a good courage and a willing mind, and open your hearts in his law and commandments, and send you peace. That's peace. All those other thoughts, those lusts, that's war. That's war against the spirit. We want this peace, this law, this commandments. Right here, Baruch. Pick up some in Baruch. Baruch chapter 4, verse 1a through b says, "This is the book of the commandments of God and the law that endureth forever." Isaiah 34 and 16. Let's go to Isaiah 34 and 16. "Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate. For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them." Joshua chapter 1, verse 8 says, "This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night." Day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. And for them thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and them thou shalt have good success. This is the peace that he's sending us. Baruch chapter 4, verse 2. "Turn thee, O Jacob, and take a hold of it," the book, that counsel that's in the book. "Walk ye in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated." Sirach chapter 6, verse 37 says, "Let thy mind, let my mind," MJ, "let your mind be upon the ordinance of the Lord, and meditate continually in his commandments. He shall establish thine heart and give thee wisdom and thine own desire." This is what our desire should be, on these ordinances, so we can receive wisdom continually. Continually. We need to let that mind be in us. Philippians. Philippians. Where is it at? Philippians chapter 2, verse 5. It says, "Let this mind be in you." Which mind? Which was also in Christ. The anointed one of Jehovah, Jesus. Who needs the mind of salvation in us, not the mind of adultery, not the mind of fornication, not the mind of lasciviousness, and so on and so forth. We need the mind of salvation and meditate on that so we can receive the wisdom. First Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 10b through 12. It says right here, "But we beseech you, brethren, that ye increase more and more What are we increasing in? And that ye study to be quiet and to do your own business and to work with your own hands, your powers. Sorry, as we commanded you to do what? That ye may walk honestly toward them that are without, and that ye may have lack of nothing. Because we supposed to be meditating on the instructions, the counsel of Jehovah. We supposed to be increasing more and more to that wisdom that he giveth us. Because we meditating on it. Second Timothy. We supposed to be studying it. Second Timothy 2:15 and 16. Study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman, a workman. So this is dealing with male and female that needed not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth, but shun profane and vain babblings, for they will increase unto more ungodliness. We're going to go back over to Sirach, chapter 6, verse 18 through 20. My son, my servant, gather instruction from thy youth up, so shalt thou find wisdom till thine old age. Come unto her as one that ploweth and soweth, and wait for her goods. For thou shalt not toil much in laboring about her, but thou shalt eat of her fruits right soon. She is very unpleasant to the unlearned. He that is without understanding will not remain with her. So we got to seek this instruction out and meditate. Matter of fact, stay in Sirach. We're going to go to chapter 14. Chapter 14, verse 18. Let's see, is that right? Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. Verse 20 and 21. Sirach 14, 20 and 21 says, blessed, wisdom is given, is the man, the male and female, that doth meditate good things in wisdom, and that reasoneth of holy, separated things by his understanding. And he that considereth, meditate on her ways in his heart, shall also have understanding in her secrets. Let's pick up some more over here in Psalms. Psalms chapter 1, 1 through 6. Blessed, wisdom is given the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Spirit of God, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. Meditate day and night. All right. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. The ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind driveth away. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. Go back over to Sirach, chapter 39. Sirach 39, 1 through 11. So we're going to read down quite a bit. But he that hath giveth his, I'm sorry, but he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies. He will keep the sayings of the renowned men, and where subtle parables are, he will be there also. He will seek out the secrets of grave sentences, and be conversant in dark parables. We've been seeing this. We've been seeing this. Elder J going right through this. He shall serve among great men, and appear before princes. He will travel through strange countries, for he had tried the good and the evil among men. He will give his heart to resort early to the Lord that made him, and will pray before the Most High, and will open his mouth in prayer, and make supplication for his sins. Let me keep. When the great Lord will, when the great Lord will, he shall filled with the spirit of understanding. He shall pour out wise sentences, and give thanks to the Lord in his prayer. He shall direct his counsel and knowledge, and in his secrets shall he meditate. He shall show forth that which he hath learned, and and shall glory in the law of the covenant of the Lord. And he shall commend his understanding, and so long as the world endureth, it shall not be blotted out. His memorial shall not depart away, and his name, his way, shall live from generation to generation. Why his name shall live on? Because he's carrying the way of Jehovah. That's not going nowhere. Nations shall show forth his wisdom, and the congregation shall declare his praise, his confessions. If he die, then he shall leave a greater name than 1,000. And if he live, he shall increase. Isaiah 26:3 says, Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusteth in thee. Lamentations. Lamentations. Where you go? Lamentations, chapter 3, 21. It says, "This I recall to my mind." This, this perfect peace, this instruction, this I recall to my mind. Therefore, for that reason, have I hope. Because without that instruction, that way of salvation, we don't have hope. Let's get some more information. Let's go to Tobit. Tobit chapter 4. I'm going to pick it up 18 and 19. Give us a little help. It says, "Ask counsel of all that are wise, and despise not any counsel that is profitable. Bless the Creator thy God always, and desire of him that thy ways may be directed, and that all thy paths, your ways and counsels may prosper. For every nation hath not counsel, but the Lord, the Creator himself, giveth all good things, and he humbleth whom he will, as he will. Now, therefore, for that reason, my son, remember my commandments, neither let them be put out of thy mind." See, that's the kind of counsel that we should get from our brother or our sister. Says, remember, meditate. Let's go back to Sirach chapter 6. Sirach chapter 6, 32 through 37. Says, "My son, if thou wilt, thou shalt be taught. And if thou wilt apply thy mind, thou shalt be prudent. If thou love to hear, thou shalt receive understanding. If thou bow thine ear, thou shalt be wise. Stand in the multitude of the elders, and cleave unto him that is wise." Remember, he said, "Ask counsel of all them, of all that are wise. Stand in the multitude of the elders, and cleave unto him that is wise. Be willing to hear every godly discourse, and let not the parables of understanding escape thee. And if thou seest a man of understanding, get thee betimes unto him, and let thy foot wear the steps of his door." We're going to stay in Sirach. We're going to go up to verse 22. Verse 22. "It's for wisdom is according to her name, and she is not manifest, made known unto many. Give ear, my son, receive my advice, and refuse not my counsel, and put thy feet into her fetters, and thy neck into her chain. Bow down thine shoulder, and bear her, and be not grieved with her bonds. Come unto her, with thy whole heart, and keep her ways with all thy power. Keep her ways with all thy power. Search and seek, and she shall be made known unto thee. And when thou hast got a hold of her, let her not go. For at the last thou shalt find her rest, and that shall be turned into thy joy. We're going to go to Psalms. Psalms chapter 63. Read it. There you go. Psalms chapter 63. I'm going to pick it up at what happened? Psalms chapter 63. There we go. Verse 6. When I remember thee upon my bed and meditate on thee in the night watches. So he's right here, he's doing this. When I meditate on thee in the night watches, because thou hast been my help. Gonna stay in Psalms. Let's go over to Psalms over here. Psalms 143. 143, verse 5. It says, I remember the days of old. I meditate on all thy works. I muse, saying the same thing, on the work of thy hands, of your power. All these things that God made for us to consider, to know him, to get understanding. We meditate on those things. Gonna stay in Psalms some more. Psalms 119, verse 15. I will meditate in thy precepts and have respect unto thy ways. Psalm 77, verse 12. I will meditate also of all thy work and talk of thy doings. Psalms 119, verse 48. My hands also will I lift up unto thy commandments, which I have loved. I will meditate in thy statutes. Ecclesiastes 7:13. Consider, meditate the work of God. For who can make that straight which he hath made crooked? In the day of prosperity, be joyful. But in the day of adversity, consider God also has set the one over against the other, to the end that man should find nothing after him. So I hope that everyone was able to get some edification today from the scriptures that are brought forth. And I have to ask again, what are you meditating on? Let's meditate on it. And let's get to the meditation of the things of God, not our own imaginations. Okay? Again, this is Brother Ned, a student here at the King James Bible University, and I want to give everyone a shalom. Shalom, everyone.
I could break it. I could break it down. Yo, break it down. I could break it. I could break it down.